Today we are going to talk about how Tiger Woods wedges are built, aka tiger stepping. I'm going to show you what it is, why we do it, and I'll show you how to do it. Let's go. Hi everyone, welcome to the Mobile Club Maker. I'm AJ. I hope you're having a wonderful day. So we are talking about tiger stepping today, and this is something has definitely been coming up a little bit more since I did one of my recent videos about the 8-iron spinner style wedge shaft with Mr. Short Game. And a lot of people sort of take that idea and this tiger stepping and use them interchangeably, but they're actually slightly different. So I'm going to show you what tiger stepping specifically is and how it's different. Okay, first off, once again, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to Howard Jones for all his technical expertise on this subject. Okay, so what is tiger stepping? Well, very simply, what we're doing when we're tiger stepping is taking a shaft, in this case the dynamic gold shaft, that really is only made down to a 9-iron. So whether you're putting it in a 9 or a pitching sand gap lob wedge, it's the same shaft. Now, even though all those clubs are using the same shaft, the head weights on each of those clubs can be a little bit different, right? The shorter the club, the heavier the head gets. If you put a heavier head on any shaft, it's going to make it more flexible. So for consistency's sake, the whole point really is we're trying to get the shaft to flex consistently regardless of what iron head is on there. And because of that, and because there is no wedge specific shaft, well, we're basically recreating one or making one using this method. Now, how do we do that? Well, it's just a matter of tip trimming. We're just going to be tip trimming 3/8 of an inch off the tip of this shaft. Now, I hear what you're thinking. Wait a second, I thought these are taper tip shafts, and you're not supposed to ever tip trim a taper tip shaft. Now, that is in general true because taper tip shafts have a design where the tip sort of tapers in versus a parallel 370 shaft. And so if you start cutting off the tip section of that shaft, you're going to lose that tapered section and it's not going to fit inside a tapered hosel. But you've got a certain amount of wiggle room based on just the design of the heads, and different heads will have different amounts of space in there, just like different shafts may have slightly different thicknesses. But there is in general enough room where you can take 3/8 of an inch, you could even take 1/2 an inch off the tip and still have it fit inside the hosel. So all tiger stepping is, if you strip away everything, take the Tiger Woods name out of it, we are just basically recreating or making a wedge specific shaft that does not exist in the marketplace at this point in time. Okay, so the first thing you want to always do is just kind of make sure that you're going to have enough room, that the fit is going to be loose enough that we can still cut some of this material off and have it fit in the hosel. So first off, you want to just sort of, put the shaft in, see if it fits like that. Also, if you have a caliper, very useful because we can measure both the inside of the hosel, and with that, you can then take it and compare it to what the shaft is giving you and seeing, will this shaft still fit if I tip it just a little bit? Now, that being said, you don't have to tip it 3/8 of an inch. If you want to tip it 1/4 of an inch, you can tip it 1/4 of an inch. The slight variations, obviously, the more you tip it, the stiffer it gets, and vice versa. So if you have an extremely heavy head, you may want to tip it a little bit more. If you have a lighter head weight, then you may want to tip it a little less. Okay, so we've tip trimmed the shaft. I've prepped it also. Hopefully, if my measurements were right, this will still fit. And it does. It's a good, nice, snug fit. So we did our measuring with the caliper correctly. This club is now ready to glue up, and then we can butt trim it to final length and put the grip on it, and it's good to go. And this is now the quote-unquote tiger stepped wedge shaft, but it's really just a wedge-specific dynamic gold shaft now. That's really all it is. The tiger stepping name makes it sound, I think, far sexier than what it really is, which is just we sort of makeshifted a wedge shaft. But that's what it is. So you can see this isn't exactly the same. This isn't the same as the spinner wedge shaft that we were doing with the 8-iron going up a flex. The end result is pretty similar because we're trying to keep the shaft from getting too flexible, from presenting too much loft at impact. But it's going about it two different ways. And in this case, it's really about just sort of finding or making the shaft that would be the natural progression going into your wedges. So that's it. I'm gonna go glue this club up. If you enjoyed this video, please go down below, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you'll be alerted when I post new videos. I'm on Patreon. You can find me at AJ Golf, and I'm on Instagram. You can find me there at Mobile Club Maker. We'll see you next time. Take care.